वसुदेवं कंसचाणूरमार्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who has come in the temple as well as who are online to continue with our journey to study of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. We are on the third chapter and we were on the 8th and 9th sloka. So third chapter is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga Nama Trutiyo Adhyaya. Third chapter in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. This chapter is very important because it gives all the practical answers which we have got in our mind, how we have to live. We are taught how to earn money. During our education, we are taught how to earn the money. Whatever way, whatever skills. You may be a cobbler or you may be a CEO. Anything. But it is telling you that how to earn the money. But how to live the life and how to spend the money which is earned is never taught. So we are using all our money and resources in an incorrect way. And that is why there are problems. And that is why there are problems in life as well as in the society. So Karma Yoga is the answer to all those questions. And that is why there is a third chapter which is Karma Yoga. So till last time, what did we understand? हम लोगों ने क्या क्या सीखा? First thing that we have got senses. Action senses and knowledge senses. कर्मेंद्रिय और ज्ञानेंद्रिय. 5 कर्मेंद्रिय, 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय. 5 senses of each type. And when we studied it, then we understood about, the picture, very normal picture which we get as the picture of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We always see there are 5 horses and there is a chariot where Arjuna and Sri Krishna is sitting. Why there are 5 horses? Why not 10 if we have got 10 senses? If there are 5 horses, what does it represent? Does it represent knowledge senses or does it represent the action senses? So we talked about it, how the functioning of knowledge senses is working and how the functioning of action senses is working. And then we went further that, there are 3 levels of decision in the life which is taken. One is only animal level, that is a senses level. इंद्रिय के द्वारा किया हुआ निश्चय, खाली इंद्रियों के लिए ही निश्चय. मेरी इंद्रियों के लिए क्या अच्छा लगेगा? What will be good for me? Which will be happy for my senses? That is animal instinct. Then we talked about the mind level and intellect level decision making. That is what we discussed. And then we decided how the swakarma, how your actions are defined. For an animal, actions are defined by the instinct, but for a human, the actions or the behavior, expected behavior is decided by the varna. And when the varna word comes, all the questions about the caste system and up and down and hierarchy has been so much advertised, bombarded and misexplained all over the world, that we think that Varna Vyavastha means discrimination. Varna Vyavastha is not discrimination. We studied it last time. Varna Vyavastha, Varna is the inherent nature of a human being and it is not a hierarchy or a caste system. That is what we discussed last time. And we understood it from the sloka of the 18th chapter also, 42 to 46 sloka. 44 sloka. So, and then we talked about the prescribed duty of each varna, prescribed duty of each quality of a varna. That is what we discussed. How our duties are decided, how our actions are decided. And we talked about the sloka. So we chanted last time also, and we talked about the sloka number 8 of the third chapter. I will chant it again, and we will just get a little recap of it, and we will go further on the sloka 9, which is again very important sloka. So the 8th sloka was, as I will chant it first, Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jayo yakarmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasiddheda karmanaha. Yeah, niyatam kuru karma tvam. Niyatam, continuously. We should be continuously do our karma. Yeah, we know karma, and then we decided, we discussed about what are the levels of karma also before. So we have to do karma, yes, but and karma jayayo yah karmana, yah akarmana. Karma jayayo means superior. Doing an action is superior than not doing any action or inaction. And we talked about the definition of inaction. Inaction doesn't mean that you are just sitting, because we can't sit. We are a human body. We have to work. We have to eat. We have to sleep. So we cannot be akarmana. So what does it mean by akarmana here, as God is telling inaction that we discussed? Karma jayayo yaha karmana. Akarmana. Yaha akarmana. Akarmana inaction. Karma is better. Jayayo superior than akarma. That is what we discussed. And then Sharira Yatra Pichate. Yes, Sharira Yatra, the travel of our body from birth to death, it cannot be sustained without doing any actions. That is what we saw also. So that is what we. So here the question which came is a Swadharma and Swakarma. That is where we stopped last time. What is Swadharma and what is Swakarma? Swa means ourselves, our own. And we understood it that from our varna, our karma is decided. We will like to do. And we took the example, like if there is a person who is very timid, if a person who is timid by nature, he is not able to resist the internal and external forces, that person should not be doing any job or any career in where is a bravery required, where there is a valor is required. He cannot be a policeman. He cannot be a military guy. On the other hand, if there is a very brave person, but he decides that for earning money, I want to go in a career of a computer coding person. Yeah, I'll be a developer. I'll do the coding. He will be sitting at a corner in a big office, in a cubicle, and he will be working with the computer all the day. That's not the right job for him. He will be a very unhappy person in the life. Why? Because his nature, his real nature is not what he is born with. So that is what the Varna came in. So we came to the question where it is Swadharma and Swakarma. So Swadharma is based on Varna. What you are prescribed duty, and the Swakarma. So the example we will take is Krishna. There is no other example. There is no other person in the world which we can take an example as a complete person, and that is why there is a example of Krishna. We see Krishna. At one time, we see that he is running away when he is fighting with the Kaliyavan. He ran away, and even he get a fame even with the running away also. So that is why we say Ranchod Araya Ki Jai. Yeah, there is a place in India in Gujarat state named as Thakur, where there is a temple. The temple of a Ranchod Rai. Ranchod, one who ran away from the battlefield. That is a name, means Ranchod. And we make a temple and people pray him. The person who somebody can say cowardly ran away from the battlefield, and people will think about it. Oh, it's a cowardice. No, it is not a cowardice. And on the other side, we see the same Krishna who is beheading Shishupal in a big full court of kings and other people, big people, noble people. He kills, beheaded Shishupal. So when to act and when not to act, which way to act, that is to be decided. So Swadharma and Swakarma, prescribed duty and situational actions. Yeah, prescribed duty and situational. So we will talk about it a little further, that what will be the difference as only doing a prescribed duty and selflessly doing the prescribed duty. There is a difference, and that is what we are going to talk in today's our study on Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So when we are doing a duty, both are duty. First of all, we already understood which is not a duty, which is not a right way, but which is a wrong way. But even in a right way also, we have to see and understand that how the right duty is also to be done in a right way. That is what it means. So prescribed duty is important, but also selflessly doing the prescribed duty is a question. So how come somebody can do selfless action? Because every action has got a reason behind it. There is a reason behind every action. So, how can somebody do an action selflessly? And that is what God has explained in the next sloka. So, we will chant the next sloka, which is the 9th sloka of 3rd chapter. Yagyarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra yagna arthat. Now here the word has come as yagya, and that is where we started. I mean, like last word which we discussed last time. We just started. Yagya. What is the meaning of yagya? In our mind, yagya means what? If somebody says that we have got a yagya, yeah, somebody comes and tells us, oh, we have got a yagya at our home, please come. What is in our mind about yagya? What is yagya? There will be a big fire pit. There will be a fire pit when there is a fire happening. Yeah, and there are pandits and shastris and all those people who are chanting the sloka. And they are putting lots of things in the fire, and people have got burning eyes, yeah, and all the ladies and everybody has got good ornaments and good clothes, traditional clothes, and then there is excellent food, and we put the resources, we put milk, we put everything in that yagya, and we do the pujan. That is considered as a pujan and prayer. That is what it is called as yagya. That is the thing in our mind. What is a yagya? Yagya means there is a fire and there is a food, there is a chanting. So, does it mean yagya? What does God explain us here in the 9th sloka? Yagna tat karmano anyatraha, yagna artha. Now here, unfortunately, there is no equivalent word of yagya in English. So people use the word sacrifice. And sacrifice is a very limited part of the yagya. It's a very, very small part. And that also misexplained and misunderstood. In such a great way that people started slaughtering the animals and considering that as a sacrifice for the god. People misunderstood the idol of Kali Mata. Yeah, all our statues, all our idols are having weapons in their hand. Isn't it? Every god has got a weapon. Look at it. Go to any temple. Every god has got a weapon. So it is misexplained and misunderstood. Oh, these gods are for fighting and killing. What is yagya? What is sacrifice? How the work to be done? That is important. So yagyartha but I will use the word sacrifice because this pravachan is in English, and so I have to. There is no other word which is at most near, and that is why I will be using the word sacrifice. But this is a clear-cut disclaimer. The word sacrifice does not show the complete meaning of yagya. So, but we will continue to use the word sacrifice here for continuing our lecture in English. So, yagyarthat karma, for the sake of sacrifice, for the sake of yagya, a person should be doing the action. And na anyatraha, no lokoyam, na anyatra, a person. So work must be done as a yagya for the lokoyam sakarma bandhanaha, yeah, for the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, the work causes the bondage in this material world. Lokoyam karma bandhanaha, it creates a bondage. The karma, the actions are creating the bondage. Anyatraha, if it is not done through the yagya method, the method of sacrifice, for the sake of sacrifice. Therefore, tadartham kaunteya, O Kaunti, or the son of Kunti, that is Arjun, O son of Kunti, for the satisfaction of God, perform your prescribed duties without being attached to the result. This is a translation in English. In Hindi we can say, यज्ञ के लिए किए हुए कर्म के अतिरिक्त अन्यत्रः अतिरिक्त, यज्ञ के लिए यज्ञार्थात कर्मणः अन्यत्रः, यज्ञ के लिए किए हुए कर्म के अतिरिक्त अन्य कर्म में प्रवृत्त हुआ पुरुष कर्मों द्वारा बंध जाता है। लोकोयम कर्म बंधनः। इसलिए हे कौन्तेय, तदर्थम कौन्तेय, कर्म आसक्ति को त्याग कर यज्ञ के निमित्त ही कर्म का आचरण करो। That is what it is told. So first we have to understand what is yagya, and as we talk in our mind, yagya is a physical term, but here it is very clearly visible. It is clearly explained and visible that any action which you do, the psychology behind doing the work should be yagya. The psychology behind doing the work should be in a yagya. So doing a yagya is not only the physical part what we see, it is also, or rather majority of it, is the psychological status in which we do any action. The word important is any action. Even if we take bath, we eat, we sleep, we earn money, we raise our families, all that has to have a psychology in the mind, which is yagya. So what is yagya? So yagya word we will understand. So word yagya has got what is called as the base word, the dhatu word. The dhatu shabda of the yagya is yaja, and the yaj has got three meanings. It has got three parts in it. It has got three sections which are combined becoming a yagya, and that is Dev Puja, prayer for the deities, Sangati Karan, making connection, and Maitri Karan, making relationship. These three things, prayer for the deities, making connection, and making friendship. Maitri Karan, friendship. Getting related with the type of connection made. And that is yagya. That is the meaning of yagya, and we will try to understand. But let us try to understand what is in our scripture, in Puran, what is written. So we will take the example from Ramayana. Vishwamitra आते हैं दशरथ के पास. Vishwamitra comes to the Dashrath and says, we are doing yagya in the forest, and all the demons, Rakshas, they are coming and disturbing us. They are coming and disturbing us in our yagya. So please send your Ram and Lakshman with us. Tadka Sanhar. Please send them so that we can complete our yagya, we can perform our yagna in a better way. And Dasharath sends teenager boys are going with Vishwamitra, and they are killing the demons. Tadka Sanhar. Now somebody can say, a teenager killed a woman. One who is not understanding the meaning after it will say, oh, your God, when he was a teenager, he killed a woman. Tadka was a woman. Killing a woman is incorrect. Atrocity, non-human. So let us try to understand, because it's very important. What is yagya? Now can you imagine that if, first of all, the yagyas are done in forest. Why always in forest? Any time we say that there are rishis and any story. The rishis are going, they are sitting in a forest somewhere and they are doing yagya, and then the demons come and they disturb there in yagya. Anything, if there are demon, even if normal people, anything there are demon or anybody, where do you go? Where there is an interest. What interest demon has got? राक्षसों को जंगल में जाने का जरूरत ही क्या पड़ा? जंगल में है ही क्या? Forest, animals, trees, grasslands, that is in our mind as a forest. So the whole picture in our mind is that when Ram and Lakshman are going to the forest, means they are going to a jungle where there are trees and animals and dense forest and all those tropical climate kind of thing. And then there are demons coming from the behind the tree and all that, and they are killing. That is what is coming even in our mind so strong that we cannot imagine any other thing. So let us go one by one. So first of all, why does a Rishi has to go and do yagya in forest? What is a forest? What does the forest represent? And if they are doing yagya means what? They are just putting fire in the wood? Why they are doing yagya in the forest? What's the reason? Do yagya in the cities where there are people. Why do you go to forest? So all these questions can be easily understood if we understand the word yagya and we understand what is forest. So what is a forest? Forest is a place. Definition of forest is an animal kingdom. An animal means what? Instinct. The societies where people live by their instinct. The human society which live by their instinct, by their senses only. They may be living in California, in Silicon Valley. They may be living in one of the highest technology place with the most richest neighborhood. But if they are living with their senses only, they are living for happiness or comfort of only their senses, then it is a forest. Forest means animal kingdom, where people are living as an animal. Even if they are walking on two legs as a human, calling themselves as a human. That is what a forest is. That is how the forest is defined. People kill each other. Animals kill each other without thinking. There is a deer and a little baby of the deer. Lion will not think. Lion will think, okay, I am going to kill the baby because I want to feed my stomach. Yeah. Same thing, capitalism. I want my profit. What happens to the people doesn't matter. How is it different than the forest? Same thing. Only thing is the lion is directly killing an animal and we are making slavery to the people. So forest means the societies and the people where they are thinking only by their instinct, only by their senses. No mind, no intellect. Only selfish senses. That is forest. And when people go to the forest, that is why Rishi go to the forest. Rishis go to the forest. They go to such society and spread the message. Yeah, spread the message. When you do a fire, what happens? There is a smoke. There is a change in setup. When we do the fire, people will see, even in a metaphor of forest also, from a far, far away, people can see, oh, there is a smoke there, there is smoke there. People will gather there. Yagya means you are starting with a new thought, with a new idea in a society where people are not even thinking and going by instinct only. That is where the Yagya is done. So, number one is Deva Puja. Why Deva Puja? Why do we need deities? Can we just not go there? Deities are required because it is a point of faith. Deities are required to work selflessly. We talked about it before also. Why do we need Bhagwan? Bhagwan की ज़रूरत क्या है? हाँ, हमें भगवान की ज़रूरत क्यों है? मैं खाता हूँ, पीता हूँ, अच्छा कमाता हूँ, किसी की परवाह नहीं, किसी को परेशान नहीं करता. I am not hurting anyone. I am doing my job and I am earning money and I am living comfortably. I am a good person. मैं अच्छा आदमी हूँ. Then why do you need God? Begging for favors? Why do we need it? So we talked about it. So coming back to the forest thing, that is why the forest, and that is why we need the Dev Puja. Center of all action is God. In Dev Puja, the center of all the actions is God. That is Dev Puja. कौन से देव की पूजा? That will be another question. So any dev की पूजा, कोई भी देव, we will come to that devta, who is devta also in the next sloka. But basically, all our action should be focused, and in the center of our action, who should be there? There should be God in the center. God means what? One who gives selflessly. All our actions should have a selfless reason behind it. That is what it means. Pradakshina. When we go to the temple, we do the pradakshina. When there is a deity in the center, हम लोग गोल घूमते हैं, pradakshina करते हैं. We go around the idol. What does it mean? Pradakshina padam padam. At every step you are doing pradakshina. That is what is told. What does it mean? It means that in my life, all the actions which I do, at the center of the action, there will be God in the center. I earn money, I raise my family, anything which I do. I am a family person. We are all mango people, I always say. हम लोग common आदमी है. Common man. So for us, We can't leave the world. We have got responsibilities. भगवान डाल के चल नहीं सकते, जा नहीं सकते, जाना भी नहीं चाहिए. अगर मन में संन्यास नहीं आया तो नहीं जाना चाहिए. So how to live? 99% of people, how to live? Pradakshina. Any actions which you do in life, there should be God in the center. And that is why there is a God in the center. That is the first part. Dev Puja. Dev Puja. And then there are various methods to do puja. So there are various slokas, and then there is various, utensils and procedures and, materials to do the yagya for the fire. That is why it is. नहीं, गणपति का यज्ञ, गणपति की पूजा और हनुमान जी की पूजा अलग अलग क्यों? अगर सब भगवान सेम है तो. हाँ, we say that there is only one God and they are all same. फिर अलग अलग पूजा क्यों? Why there are different slokas? There are hundreds of questions. Anyway, so going further, Dev Puja, then Sangati Karan, making connection. Making connection with a person who lives with an instinct is extremely difficult. You go to a big villa, you will see a board outside. Be aware of dogs. Kutte se savdhan. That there is a sentry, there is a security guy. He is telling, who are you? Whom do you want to meet? Why you have come? What is the purpose of meeting? The very first question is, what is the purpose? That means you cannot go and meet someone without purpose. In a forest, in a selfish or Atma Kendri Vyavastha, that is what is in Hindi, self-centered society. The moment you want to say that I want to meet someone, the very question is, why? What is the purpose? Think about it. Anything. What is the purpose? It may be anything. It may be pleasure. It may be as a reason, some work. But there is a reason. What is the purpose? Sangati Karan means making connection without reason. I have come to meet you as an individual without any selfish reason. That is Sangati Karan. It's a very big chapter. This we are talking about is a very big chapter. It's a very big thing. And we are talking in a very small way because we have to go further. But Sangati Karan means basically you are getting related, you are getting connected, you are coming in contact with the person. You are coming in contact with the person, but having God as the center, connecting with the other person with God as the center. That is what is called as a Sangati Karan. And then Maitri Karan, making a friendship, making a relationship, getting related with the type of connection you make. Not with a purpose, not with any reason, not to get something, a favor, or even just to increase the TP. In media they say, I don't know what is the right word for that, but they want their, circulation. I should be more famous. So just for raising that TRP, relationship without any purpose. And that is Yagya. In a Yagya, these are the three things should be there. Otherwise it is not a Yagya. And these three things, as we can easily see, is a psychological thing. It is not a physical thing. Physically, we may do prayer. I am completely with the, putting a fire and doing chanting. I am not telling against it, please. But the psychology behind it should be what? Should be Deva Puja, Sangati Karan and Maitri Karan. If we just put the fire, we put the things in it, but if we do not understand why we have met together, what is the unity required, what is the equality which is generated from the yagya, if we do not understand it, doing only the karmakand will not help the society. That is what it is. So going in the forest we talk. Now, in a forest what happens? So in a human forest, what happens? In a forest of human beings, cities, what happens? Controlling the people through their senses. Because a human has got an independent the decision making power. You cannot, it cannot be like a lion who is killing a deer or a zebra. So what they do, they control the people. Yeah, the demons try to control the people by senses. They try to control the people by senses. हमारी जो दिमाग है उसको कंट्रोल करना, so that you will become. So in that one, controlling the people through senses means what? Simple example, in animal world will be catching a mouse with a piece of cheese. चीज का टुकड़ा रख दो पिंजरे में, चूहा आ जाएगा. So what is a cheese का टुकड़ा for a human being? For example, if you are living in Alaska, there will be no taxes. टैक्स नहीं लगेगा if you are living in some specific area. चीज का टुकड़ा, इसके लिए चूहा चीज खाने के लिए अलास्का चला जाएगा. That is चीज का टुकड़ा for a human being. Controlling by senses. You will get PR quicker in Phala provinces. So people will go there. I am not against it. But is it for development or is it for some other purpose? That is to be seen. So controlling people by senses is nothing but a forest for human being. So in Hindi we can say that कर्म का निषेध नहीं है, मगर प्रत्युत सकाम भाव का निषेध है. Doing work is not prohibited. Intention is important than the action. So how we can do that? Yagya, when we are doing any karma, which is even including our daily life activity, how we can do that without a sakam bhav? How we can do it? कर्म का निषेध नहीं है, मगर प्रत्युत सकाम भाव का निषेध है. Selfless work, how we can do? That is a question. So first we have to understand the selfless action and yagya. That is also another point is important. Selfless action is great. It is supposed to be done. It is to be done in that way for everyday life. But on other hand, what will be there? Yagya. Together. Sometimes we can do selfless action ourselves. But can we do the selfless action together? That is what the yagya is coming in picture. When people do the selfless action together, then it is called as a yagya. When a person does the work alone, selflessly, it is for him as a nishkam karma. A nishkam karma is different than yagya in this way. Because we have seen that people are sometimes great, people are sometimes good alone. There are people who give lots of donations. There are good people. There are many good people in the world. They give lots of donations. But if you ask them, let us work together, they say, no, I can't manage. I can't handle other people. And that is the crisis. Today's one of the today's list of crises is very long. One of the crises in the today's world is tolerance. People have got a problem of tolerance. We cannot handle each other. Tolerance की problem है. Intolerance. You go to UN, one of the highest line is tolerance. We are not able to tolerate. And the word tolerate itself is not there in the Bharatiya Sanskriti, in the Indian culture, in our Vedic culture. Tolerance means what? You are bearing with someone. Somebody is different. You can't handle it. You can't accept it. You can't grasp it. But you are pressing yourselves in your mind and just tolerate it. Sahan kar sakta hoon. Yagya is not for tolerance. Yagya is for compassion, togetherness. That is the difference between a tolerance and a yagya psychology. So just to make a disclaimer on that, otherwise people will say, oh yeah, that means tolerance. Working together is tolerance? No. Working together as a yagya is compassion, not tolerance. In tolerance, we press ourselves, we make ourselves happy, but we do not react. That is tolerance. In compassion, other person is different, but still he or she is mine. That is compassion. That is family. In family, we do not tolerate. In family, we work together, we live together. Selfless action can be done alone. So what happens if, why not only selfless action? Yagya ki zarurat kya hai? What is the need of yagya? Because when we work with other people, we are developed as a full human at the fullest level. Compassion, that is a human. Qualities of a human is compassion, togetherness. How can we train ourselves? How can we learn to work together? Is through the yagya. That is why there is a yagya. That is why. So yagya is a psychological thing. Yagya is acceptance and compassion with others. In Hindi, there are so many things that which cannot be explained completely in English. Maybe it is because of my problem in English literature, or maybe there are no words. I will not go there. But I will try to say in Hindi, यज्ञार्थ कर्म करते समय कर्म योगी की स्थिति अपने उद्देश्य परमात्मा में रहती है. So while you are working together through the psychology of yagya, the intention of a person, here the meaning of Paramatma is for a greater cause. The reason why a person is contributing and working in a yagya is to connect with the God and not to do a favor to the other human being. That is another bullet point in yagya. That is how the yagya is. मनुष्य की स्थिति उसके उद्देश्य के अनुसार होती है, क्रिया के अनुसार नहीं. A man's condition is according to his or her purpose and not according to his action. Somebody will say, oh, I went to the village and I saw that people do not have water, so I donated money to dig a well. So now there is a water. Great work. And then after 6 months, the guy comes to the village and says, "Humne kuan khudwaya, yeah, I arranged the water through the well. So elect me, give me the votes, so that I can become a MLA, MP. मैंने तुम्हारे लिए इतना काम किया. I worked this much for you. So you give me vote." So the work of digging a well or doing that is by compassion or a selfish nature. That is to be thought about. In a yagya, there is no self. There is selfless action. Man's condition is according to his purpose in the mind, the intention in the mind, and not according to the action. So yagya is telling that you are doing, the center of the action is God, for a higher cause, Paramatma. It is not for self. खुद के लिए नहीं है. People give big donation even in yagya also. यजमान है. I am not against it. But then कौन सी सीट के लिए कितना, फिर उसकी उतनी वैल्यू ज़्यादा या कम. It should not be that. Everybody who is taking part in yagya are equal. That is what the yagya means. Now we will try to understand the psychological mechanism. We will try to understand the mechanism in why yagya and what we are. So let us see that what we are. So whenever since we are born, we are knowing that it is me, I, whenever we are born. And all through our life, we have got a psychology that this is me. So everything around us is me. Now that me is connected with our body. When our body dies, that me dies. There is no more. The person has a name, but when the person dies, there is no more that person. We say that person XYZ has died. There is no more. So the existence of a person, the me, is connected with the body. There is one constant me in the body, which is changing with age and size. But the me is already there. This me has a duty. And that is the responsibility as a karma, swakarma. The me is born in a varna, and depending on the varna, you have got a swakarma. सो मी बॉर्न विथ वेलोर से बहुत ही बहादुर आदमी करके मैं जन्म लिया है, तो मेरा कर्म है कि मेरी बहादुरी जो होगी उसके सेक्शन में काम करना, वो लाइन में काम करना. So as per our varna, we have got a swakarma, and that swakarma is connected with the me. शरीर की अवस्थाएं, बचपन, जवानी बदलने पर भी वह वही रूप में मी अंदर ही रहता है. हाँ, when I was a young baby, I will say, this is my doll, this is my toy. There is a me there. When I become younger, older, teenage, this is my mobile phone. Even though my body has changed, the me remains constant in the body. That is what is that. This me is not related with the body. The body will keep on changing. Yeah, my granddaughter, my grandson, my house, my car, my factory, my job. Even though we travel through various size of the body and the status of the body, the me remains constant. That is how it remains there. That is me. Now, what happens that the eternal soul, that me, is connected with the Paramatma because it has to go through another cycle of body. So the eternal soul is connected with the eternal God, and the mortal, which is intellect, mind and senses, are connected to the mortal world. So there are two completely different sections in us. One section is our me, which is I inside, which is not connected with anything, and then there is a mortal body which is changing the size, shape and eventually disintegrate. So the me, which is aparivartanashila, not getting changed, is connected with the Paramatma, the God in the center. And the body is connected with the material world. Khana chahiye, you need food, you need shelter, you need clothing. For what? For the body. So there are two this is part, mortal and mortal and immortal part. परिवर्तनशील शरीर, इंद्रिया, मन और बुद्धि वो संसार के साथ में एक है. The mortal body is connected with the mortal world, and the I is connected with the Paramatma, the eternal world. So, how the mechanism of karma yoga is coming? The word is karma yoga. Karma yoga nama trutiyo adhyaya. So, why the word karma yoga is coming? What is the meaning? So, what is the mechanism in karma yoga? Karma संसार के लिए है और संसार से संबंध विच्छेद होने पर परमात्मा के साथ योग अपने लिए है. In English, we can say that the karma, the actions are for the material world, which is mortal world. But when we disconnect with the mortal world, the I, which is inside us, which is me, which is ourself, which is our existence, is connecting with the Paramatma. When we are doing the karma yoga through the Yagya, we are connecting ourselves. The I is connected with the Paramatma. And the actions which we do, which actions? Relationship, Maitrikaran and Sangatikaran. When we do those actions, it is for the mortal world. This becomes too much theory-wise, isn't it? So let us take it in a simple example. If we take the example of all our sant, all the saints. वो लोगों ने दुनिया संसार से तो मुक्त हो गए. आदि शंकराचार्य came to this world. He was already mukta. He was having the disconnection. He was not having any attachment, and he is born. उनको ऑलरेडी मोक्ष है, तो काम क्यों करना? बड़े बड़े संत हो गए, big saints. If you are already knowing that the mortal world is useless, why do the work? This is the question. See, either you know that the world is mortal and it is useless, so you go away and you don't work. Or you do not know that the mortal world is useless, so you keep in the world. How come the people who are having already the moksha, works in the society. This is the way. The answer is Karma Yoga. For the karma, it is for the mortal world, and the yoga is for the eternal God. That is how, when we connect both of them together, karma for the world work and yoga with the God work, with the God, with the eternal. When these things are together, because we cannot separate them, the I is inside my body. So when we combine them, it becomes Karma Yoga. That is what is Karma Yoga. People say yoga, yoga. What yoga? Yoga means to join. Where do you join? How do you join? How exactly we have to do our karma yoga? So yoga means you join with eternal, and karma means you work in the material world. That is what karma yoga is. And God has explained how do you use the karma yoga? Through the yagya. Any work which we do through the psychology of a yagya becomes karma yoga. And then we can do yoga, we can do the other part of karma kand, but the psychology while doing it should be karma yoga. So any work which we do in our life, we earn money, we study, all these things should be done. We get married, but doing the psychology of I which is inside, if that is connected with the Paramatma, with the selfless, then it becomes a karma yoga. Prescribed duty and selfless prescribed duty. Swakarma and swadharma is prescribed duty, and karma yoga is selfless prescribed duty. That is how it is coming in. That is how we have to understand it. How to understand the word karma yoga? Selfless prescribed duty. First we have to do prescribed duty. Not doing prescribed duty is totally first step of incorrect. जो मेरा वर्ण है, the way I am, I should select my career as per that. I should select my job as per that. I should do my work as per that. Now, while doing a prescribed duty, do not do it selfishly. How can we do it? By yagya. And while doing a yagya, we connect with the eternal. That is how it is. That is what is a karma yoga. कर्म संसार के लिए है, एंड एट द एंड संसार से संबंध विच्छेद, व्हेन वी आर डाइंग, संसार से संबंध विच्छेद होने पर परमात्मा के साथ योग अपने लिए है. नाउ somebody will say, oh, it is only during the dying. That means while I am living, it is not there. Actually, it is every second. Because God is residing in us, it is every second. So whatever work we do, we should be thinking as a selfless prescribed duty. That is the one. It is all through the life. It is not during when we are only dying. It is all through the life. Doing a selfless prescribed duty, which is karma yoga. So we'll go to the next sloka, where how this has been mechanized by the God. Because we understand theory, but how it is mechanized by the God, because God has created the world and all that. So God is explaining that in the next sloka. So we'll chant the 10th sloka here and try to understand it. Saha yagya praja srushta purovacha prajapati anena prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduka. Saha yagya prajaha srushta. Saha yagya. Saha means together, along with. So purovacha, purovacha. Pura means in the beginning, in the starting. Uvacha, said. When the Saha yagya, when the world was created, when the humankind was created through Saha yagya, through the yagya, the humankind was created. Saha yagya ke saath mein jab create hua, in the beginning of the creation, Brahma, Prajapati, created the humankind along with the duties. Humankind were created, but along with the duties. Saha yagya praja srushta. Praja, people, humankind. Srushta, created. Saha yagya, along with the duties. यज्ञ के साथ में क्रिएट हुआ. पुरोवाचा, uvacha said. What did he say while creating? Prajapati, he told. And he told, what did he told? Anena prasavishyadvam. Anena prasavishyadvam. Prasavishyadvam means increase the prosperity. Increase the prosperity. God told in the beginning of creation, Brahma, the creator, he created humankind with the duties and said, prosper in the performance of these yagyas, sacrifices, for they shall bestow upon you all you wish to achieve. प्रजापति सृष्टिकर्ता ने कहा, क्या कहा? यज्ञ सहित प्रजा का निर्माण करते हुए कहा, इस यज्ञ द्वारा तुम वृद्धि को प्राप्त हो और यज्ञ तुम्हारे लिए इच्छित कामनाओं को पूर्ण करने वाला, इष्ट काम दुका, इच्छित कामनाओं को पूर्ण करने वाला हुए. हाँ, bestow upon you all you wish to achieve, इष्ट काम दुका. So, number one here is that Brahma created the world. In Sanatana Dharma, we clearly believe, understand and totally follow that the world is created. World is not evolved. World is created, and it is created with lots of thinking behind it. It's created. World is created. And any creation has a purpose. Without a purpose, a creation will never happen. Anything which we do, even if we sleep, it is a creation. What? We want to rejuvenate. We want to rejuvenate in our life. We want to take rest. We want to get more stronger. And then we will do the work again. That is why we are sleeping. So even sleeping is also has a reason behind it. Any creation has a reason. And one who is creating anything has got two things in the mind. Now one, it should last long. हम ऐसा कोई काम नहीं करते हैं जो यूजलेस हो, आज किया कल खराब हो जाएगा. We don't do. No, our creation should last long and exist continuously. We always do the work, we always do the creation with two things in mind, that it should be the best way and it should be existing continuously. So when Brahma created the world, what is in his mind? Why he didn't create only people? See, Saha Yagya Praja Sushta. It is told, with the Yagya he created people. Why did he create it with the Yagya? Why not only people? Create the people. Why Yagya? Why did he create Yagya with the people? Only people will not help. Yagya. Why Yagya? Think about it. Let us take an example. If there is no Yagya, means there is a selfish world. Yagya means, as we told, that selfless work. Selfless prescribed duties. Karma Yoga. So if there is a society where there are only selfish people, means there is no psychology of Yagya in the mind of the people. The forest where Vishwamitra took Ram and Lakshman, a place like that, what will happen? A society where everybody is only selfish. What will happen? Anxiety and fear, unhappy society. Even if you have got billions of dollars, it will be an unhappy society. Why? Because there is a fear. You can't even sleep with your family because there is a fear. They will stab me. There is no togetherness. There is no yagya in that life. So a society which is like that will be unhappy society. And God didn't want us to be unhappy. And that is why God made a yagya together with us. Saha yagya praja sushta. God created the world along with the yagya. Now he created the world with yagya means what? Means he has given us an opportunity and intellect to understand that we can do a work selflessly. That is why the word praja is here. Praja is connected to the human being, not animal being. Praja Srushta. We all know, you ask anybody, let us take an example, there is a thief. Ek chor hai. There is a thief. He is stealing things from everywhere and all. Now if he is at home and his wife is coming to him and telling, oh, you know, our that 6-year-old son, today he stole something from home, or he stole something. What will the thief say? What will the father say? That is wrong. You should not take anything incorrectly from your mother. चोर भी बोलेगा, चोरी नहीं करना. Another example, same thing. There are 4 thieves. 4 चोर चोरी करने के लिए गए. There are 4 thieves who go for stealing. They go and steal. They steal some money and ornaments, whatever. They break some safe, whatever they have done. Now they are sitting together and they are sharing. They are sharing the loot. What do they say? सबको equal मिलना चाहिए. Everybody should get an equal share. Everybody should get a share as per their amount of contribution. They are doing a wrong thing, but the contribution and the sharing should be equal. They have got a clear-cut understanding in the mind. Yagya. So Saha Yagya, we are all born with the understanding that there is a method of doing selfless work. And while doing it, then only there is a peace in mind. वो 4 चोर है, उसके बीच में अगर इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं हुआ, क्या होगा? मारा मारी करेंगे, एक दूसरे को मार डालेंगे. So they know that the peace in the world, the peace in mind, anxiety and fear will not happen if there is a equality. Sa yagya. यज्ञ है तो पीस है. I am not telling stealing is yagya. Please don't misunderstand that way. What I mean is that equality will bring peace and selfish actions will bring unhappiness, anxiety and fear in the society. And that is why God created the psychology, the understanding of yagya together with the people. In the mind of the people, the understanding what it is clear. Nobody should be explained. Selfless नहीं होना चाहिए किसी को नहीं. Everybody knows. Otherwise, imagine there is a family of 4, 2 plus 2. Mother will say, I will cook for myself. I know how to cook. I will cook for myself. I will not cook for husband and kids. Or husband, in other words. I am not telling that only women should cook. So, yeah. The one other family member say, I am earning, so I will only earn and I will use the money for myself. Why should I give it to the family member? Why should I bring food and clothes and everything for my family? My family, Yagya. When we work in family together, we don't ask for the money in return. Mama will not say, today make 10 chapatis, 12 chapatis. So 3 chapati, 3 rotis is $1. So you give me $4. Otherwise I will not serve you chapati. We don't say that in family. So we know. It is not that we do not know. It is only thing we do not extend it. That is the question. We do not extend it. We do not understand the larger meaning of the yagya. But God created us with the yagya. And there is a coexistence in the nature. We see in a cycle. In nature, animals, trees, even in animals also, we see there is a cycle. It is not an intellectually understood cycle, but there is a cycle. Animals, they eat. They either eat each other, carnivorous or herbivorous. They eat grass and all. Then eventually they die. All their body disintegrate and goes into the soil. And the trees and other things, birds, again they take their nourishment from the soil and they grow. It's a cycle. There is a cycle of water. There is a cycle of animals and trees and birds. Trees take nourishment. So human have an intellect and want to control. Human doesn't want to go in cycle. मुझे दुनिया का सब मिलना चाहिए, मैं सबसे बड़ा आदमी होना चाहिए. They do not want to go in cycle. They like slaveries. They have intellect and they use their intellect for that. We want to collect and gather for our own purpose. That is what a human being. And instead of dependency, we like slavery. हमें dependency नहीं चाहिए, हमें slavery चाहिए, services चाहिए. Instead of someone helping us, we want them to serve us. So how can this human psychology with the psychology of Yagya can change? How it can be trained? That is a question. So it is almost 11 o'clock. when we come next Saturday again between 10 to 11, we will try to study that. We will try to understand how this can be inculcated in the society so that people will have a psychology of Yagya in their mind and the society will be free of unhappiness, anxiety and fear, which we see now in everyone. A billionaire is also equally anxiety and unhappy. There are millionaires who have suicided because of that. It is not the resources which make the people happy. It is not the thickness of the purse. So we'll think about it when we come next time, 10 to 11 again every Saturday as we meet. And we will go further on this Sloka 10 on 3rd chapter. Till then I wish everyone a happy weekend. It's a nice and sunny day, although it is very cold outside. Take care of yourself. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah.